Thank you, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Feliz Dia de las Gracias. Buongiorno del ringraziamento. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Firefly Home Energy Cleans, and I am Nicole. So I would like to very quickly talk about Thanksgiving. First of all, we know one thing. Giving thanks is the most important, or one of the most important thing that we can do as human beings to attract good energy, good vibes, good blessing, if you want to say, upon us. So gratitude. Even say it mentally when you're nervous or when you're like very down or depressed. Try this. I did in the past, and it really worked wonders. Just as a prayer, as a mantra, just say, I'm thankful for, and then you start saying, even if you're in the worst of your depression, there's one or two things that you can be thankful for. So focus on that. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that. Or just repeat, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, like a prayer. It's actually saying thanks, which means being grateful at heart, is one of the most powerful prayers that we can ever say and have and give. So what is Thanksgiving? Because tons of you are not in the United States. So it's a holiday celebrating in the United States. I'm simplifying it a lot because, as you know, I'm Italian. So I'm not from here too, but it's like many years I live in New York City for now. And I came to appreciate Thanksgiving, even if my family is not here. I really love this festivity. Sorry. I need some water and I don't have it. The beautiful of the direct. I'm not doing other takes. I'm not so professional. So what it comes out here, I'll put it on. I decided to do like that to be more honest, true to myself, and more spontaneous. I love being spontaneous. I love everything spontaneous, and I don't work for Hollywood, so I can do it. I was saying, Thanksgiving started, I learned by living here in the United States, when the pilgrims, so the European settler, also called colonizers, which is not a good word, but it's the truth, they were colonizers. Finally, after a lot of wars and famine and killing spree of all the Native Americans, the real Americans are Native Americans, it's a fact. So finally they sat down and they had this feast together, like to say, okay, now we are in peace, we can make peace now. So it's really good, and it also changed kind of the course of things, kind of, because honestly, socially still, and politically, Native Americans are underrepresented. They're not as integrated, I mean, they're integrated, but they still kind of look upon. I mean, it's not like white Americans or white people that really have some kind of level of privilege. It's a fact. Unfortunately, it's sad, but it's true. So I'm European and I live in the United States, and from with my European point of view, I can say that still equality is not really there. So maybe a good also way to celebrate Thanksgiving from now on for the next year, coming until next Thanksgiving, is to try to fight a little bit for the rights of everybody, not only your political party, not only your race, not only your religion, not only your ideology, everybody. We live in a ball. We are all dependent from Mother Nature. All of us is dependent from Mother Nature. Let's fix this here in our minds and in our hearts. Our hearts should know already, but our minds, our ego, our consumerism, our greediness makes us forget. Because we live here merely 60 to 80 years, maybe 90s if you're very blessed. And apparently we think that the world is ours to then destroy and don't leave anything to our future generations. It's like if our ancestors left us a shitty world, polluted, without resources, with animals disappearing, killed, and all the worst. Waterways, ocean polluted and everything. That's what we're doing currently in the past 50 to 60 years. So we're not talking about 100 years ago. We're talking about our generation, our parents' generation, not our grandparents. Our parents, it depends how old are you, I guess. But from my point of view, is our grandparents, our parents' generation, the boomers, and us, and everybody up to us, adults, working, living, and consuming. Kids clearly don't have much say yet. So why in this Thanksgiving we don't set the intention from now on as a way of giving thanks of the lucky and the blessed that we have, that we are in a free country. It's still better than many other places in the world. That we are healthy. That we have family and loved ones and friends that love us and care for us. That we have food and shelter, a roof to be in. Because many people, especially with COVID 2020, I'm doing this in 2020, especially with COVID, tons of people lost jobs. They don't know how to get to the end of the month. They cannot pay rent. Rent relief, New York City for this is blessed, but rent relief in most of the United States doesn't exist. People only care about rich, wealthy people, and all the poor working class minimum wage. Guess what? Who cares? They're probably lying in the food bank or in the shelters that give food. So let's also use this Thanksgiving not only to get drunk, have wine, have drinks, have fun, have turkey or tofu turkey, whatever you like, but also to think for a second. Think how lucky we are. And if we are not that lucky, we can ask for help. And then if we are very lucky, we can help them not so lucky. One beautiful routine, a tradition now that I do with my husband that I learned from basically his grandmother from Jamaica used to do it. Every Thanksgiving, the leftovers, we walk around the neighborhood. Unfortunately, in New York, there's enough homeless people, and we give a nice plate, clean plate with everything with it for the homeless to give. Clearly, this can be done every week, not only Thanksgiving. I personally work in a restaurant, sometimes mistakes or leftover from our lunch. I'll put it in to go. I'm always going home with the metro, and in the metro, I give the food to the homeless. I say, here for you. Some people don't want it, some people accept it. Honestly, 90% of the time, they always thank me and accepted it. So let's do this more often. At least let's start thinking about it, especially if you're very wealthy, if you're very rich. That's why I put a lot of hashtag rich kids, wealthy people, whatever, in the hope that very wealthy people, the rich people sees that and tell their friends. First of all, you be the example. You are the example to change the world. So you do it first. But you set the example for your wealthy or super rich billionaires, millionaires, friends, best friends, neighbors, family. Let's give each other. Let's help the ones that have less. Especially if you have a lot. We have not much. But I still manage to foster cats to help that and to give food to the poor here and there. Also working in a restaurant, instead of throwing away, I save mistakes or whatever, even if there are not many. I don't eat lunch once, all that pasta. I give it to the poor the same night coming back from the metro, from the subway. We all can do that. How much food do we throw away? I work in a restaurant, I see tons, and I have to make, and I will point rich people for that. I see tons of very wealthy New Yorkers, or from around the world, Brazilians, Russians, Middle Eastern, because I work with them all. Order too much and then throw away 50% of it. So let's rethink about that. Also think the animal sacrificed himself, is being killed to give you nourishment, to give you, so you order this much of a steak and you throw away half of it. You're spitting on God, and if you don't believe in God, you're spitting on life itself. Because for me, God is not the religious God. God means life, it's the universe. I believe there's an energy. We're not going into that now, but one day I'll talk about that too. But my personal belief is no religion. I studied religion, I studied theology, I actually graduated in philosophy. But I do have many years of studying religions, many years. I grew up Catholic. I do not believe in Catholicism. I do believe Jesus was a person. I think he was a person like Buddha was a person, like Muhammad was a person. They were very enlightened beings, human beings, that got enlightened and they get close to God because they raise their consciousness. Okay, I've been to the parenthesis closed. I have to say, but when you talk about these things, you have to be specific, or try to be as simple and specific as possible to give ideas, to give also for you, whoever is listening, my perspective, why I am what I am, why I do what I do in my page, why I believe, and if I really am embodying what I preach, because preaching without being, it's a bunch of BS. It's not good. So I do believe, I call him God for semantics, for easy way of express, but I do believe there's something, energy, love, universal love, agape, Atman, There's many words. But if you order food and you throw away, especially if it's animal products, you are insulting God, life itself, which means for me. Why? Order less. All of us, let's use this Thanksgiving to think, how much do we waste? How much animal products do we waste? And then give thanks to the animal, the sacrifice, because their death, their life force that went away gives us life force. Let's try to switch to eat a little bit more of veggie or grains. Why not? We can skip one extra day of meat or fish. Let's change. Slowly, changes have to become slowly. You don't have to become a radical vegan or a radical vegetarian. You never have to become vegetarian or vegan if you don't want to. But give thanks to all the souls that sacrifice themselves, because animals do have a soul. For me, that's out of question. That's out of even any kind of debate. Animals have a soul, and I can prove it in tons of times. So if you want me to prove it, one day I'll do a video of saying all the examples of why animals do have a soul. I can also bring books and beautiful authors, so you can go and look for yourself. Always research for yourself. I'm here to give ideas or to give a hint of debates, of ideas of discussion, of self reflection and self-discussion, and that you look for yourself. Give thanks to Mother Nature. How do we give thanks to Mother Nature? Stop polluting. Stop buying so much toxic household products, toxic beauty products. Stop buying so much plastic. Say no to plastic. You really want to give thanks to Mother Nature and Mother Earth that makes us being alive, and they give us so much pleasure with all the holidays we go, to the seaside, to the mountains, to the desert, to the national parks. So give thanks by stop using so much single-use plastic, or by stop polluting so much. Consume less and be more grateful for what you already have, because we have so much. I hope this has been very helpful, because we need to think about it. Teach this to kids, children. Make children grow up with this kind of ethics and appreciation for Mother Earth, nature, and life itself. And we will have a different society in a span of 10 years. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Whatever is your religion, your faith, your political party, and your origin in the world. Bye-bye. Ciao.